Hi guys, it's Still Inspector here. Welcome back to the mining show. We've got 4 articles to cover today. Let's just get right into them. So the first one is coming from Input Mag. They're talking about amid the crypto crash, should you buy a used GPU? We kind of went over this yesterday in some hit piece that the Tech Radar writer did. But let's just go into it and I'll express some more of my opinions on if you should buy a used GPU. If you're an average PC gamer, you've likely been watching the price of compute opponents skyrocket for the past 2 years, wondering when things will finally calm down a bit. But while the chip shortage shows no sign of letting up in the short term, the cratering value of cryptocurrency has caused many crypto miners to sell off their old GPUs. I'm here to tell you that the low prices on eBay might be tempting, but a used GPU from a stranger is very much a dice roll, one that might leave you paying hundreds of dollars for a defective GPU. Before you click that buy button, here are some 7 questions you should ask yourself before you buy a used GPU. The first question that you ask is, what does the GPU market look like right now? First thing you should consider before buying any used GPU is whether or not the price is actually good deal or not. That might sound like obvious advice, and it is, but component prices are quite fickle and they vary from retailer to retailer. As such, it's worth shopping around. Based on my own research, generally speaking, while the availability of graphics cards still isn't great right now, you can find the latest generation of Nvidia GPUs, which is the 30 series, new at sites like Newegg for 100 to 200 north of the MSRP. If you just do a quick search on eBay right now, you'll probably get the same prices that he's come up with, around $800, maybe $750 for a new 30 series card, which is actually a great price right now. Anything that's like kind of near into MSRP on the second-hand market, I would say is a good price. Obviously we're going to see them dip below this MSRP, or we could see it just hover above it in the second-hand market. So the GPU market right now is basically a bit, in the dirt. Many GPUs are selling for under MSRP, but the higher end ones like the 30 series are selling for around that price. And I think it's a decent price, just because it is MSRP, so you're paying for what you originally were supposed to pay for. The second question is, how much are used GPUs selling for on the second-hand market? Obviously we've been over this, and it says here most buyers end up paying around $150 to $250 less than the price you can find on Newegg right now. But that doesn't include shipping costs. Well, personally, I've just sold one 1080 Ti because I'm trying to get rid of my older cards. I sold one 1080 Ti for around £250, which I think is about $270, which for me is a good price point. Obviously I could have sold it for, upwards of $300 if I had just sold it earlier, but to be honest, I've already made ROI on it, and I don't really want the old cards, so I'm trying to get some money together to buy some new cards. Which is great if you're a miner, that's like the plan, you just upgrade, keep upgrading. The money that comes in from mining and plus the GPU sales will get you newer cards. Obviously it says here that the GPU aftermarket is around $150 to $250 less. I've seen that personally with my own sales. I sold it for $270, which it should be, I think it's around $300 and maybe $60 maybe, is the actual MSRP price for it. So right now the afterhand market is very good for buying GPUs. What are the risks of buying a used GPU? This is the main question that I wanted to go over. There are other questions, but you guys can go and check them out in the description. I'll leave a link to the article. So this is only the third question, and you can go look at the other ones. What are the risks of buying a used GPU? The number one problem with buying a used GPU is the possibility that it is used for crypto mining for any significant period of time. Over the past few years, crypto miners have bought desirable GPUs in bulk in order to pump out as much coins as possible while prices soared. GPUs used in the mining rigs are run under full load for weeks at a time, and they often lack the ventilation and cooling necessary for a GPU to thrive. The conclusion is pretty clear: if you end up buying a GPU from a miner, it probably won't run well, and it's likely to fail you way faster than a newer GPU, leaving you high and dry. So the reason that you would obviously buy a GPU from a miner is that they're pricing it lower than just a regular second-hand GPU. Personally, I think that miners, I went over this yesterday's video, personally I think that miners, most of them, do take care of their GPUs because they know that at some point they'll have to get people to buy it off them on the second-hand market. That's just how it goes, you know. I've had my 1080 for about 2 years now. I started mining on it, and I can still play games on it if I really wanted to. There's no, you know, artifacts or anything that's really stands out that is not running well on any games. And I bet if you put it up against a second-hand GPU that somebody had in their computer for about 5 years, it would be better than that GPU in that computer. Personally, I think that miners do take care of their GPUs. Firstly, it says about the full load for weeks at a time. Obviously, we are going to be running for a full load. You know, we're trying to get hash rate all up to the maximum, but we're also going for efficiency. So if the hash rate doesn't match the efficiency, then power and core clocks and memory clocks will be lowered. So it keeps it running at the most efficient way a GPU can run. All GPUs are stress tested and they have a date where they become obsolete. This means that when you're running a GPU, you know that if in the next 3 years it breaks or anything, you can still get the warranty back. The reason that the warranty is there is because they know that their GPUs can run on a full load for the next 3 years without it breaking. Personally, onto the second point, they say that the ventilation and cooling necessary for a GPU to thrive is not there. I would rebuttal this with the fact that many GPU miners have fans on their actual GPU running, you know, at 80%, so it's making them cooler. Secondly, they also have external fans on their rigs that actually blow air through the GPUs and take it out of the GPUs on either side of the rig. This means that they have good ventilation. People don't realize that temperature is everything in GPU mining. If you have lower temperatures, you get better efficiency, and therefore you have less power and more coins mined. Every GPU miner should be striving for the top efficiency out of their card. So therefore, if they're going to have better temperatures by using fans, external ones blowing through, then they're going to do that. Also, GPU miners will look after their GPUs. They don't want their GPUs breaking either. So regularly, many GPU miners will clean their GPUs, whereas if a GPU is sitting in a computer, a gaming computer, there are many things that people don't even think about. You know, airflow, people have them on their carpets, which is not very good. You know, they have fans that are just in the ground, so they're not actually pulling any air through, they're just spinning. And people don't understand that, you know, you have to look after a GPU. Miners do understand this, and they know that they've got that end price point that they have to sell it at some point. So why would they not look after the card when they know they're going to have to sell it? It's very counterintuitive what they're saying about GPU mining and the fact that GPU mining cards are bad and, you know, they are, you know, not performing as well as a GPU from the second-hand market that's been stuck in a gaming computer. Personally, if you're looking for a GPU and you're trying to get it at a low price, I'd go and buy a second-hand GPU from the aftermarket. There's not much difference in performance. These GPUs are stress tested for 3 years. You know, they're made to run constantly or at a decent rate for the next, 3 years. But let's get into the second article. This is Bitcoin mining revenue mirrors 2021 lows right before the Bitcoin breached 69k per coin. It says here Bitcoin visiting the $20,000 range after 1.5 years made mining the most important job of the ecosystem a costly affair. However, if history were to repeat itself, Bitcoin investors may witness another epic bull run that previously helped Bitcoin reach an all-time high of $69,000 per coin. Changes in the Bitcoin prices directly impact the miners' income, who will earn fixed blocks rewards. We know how that works. All of that, block rewards. Total miner revenue over time, as shown above, the recent dip in Bitcoin mining revenue has seen 1 year back when the total value tanked to 13 million on June 27, 2021, back when Bitcoin traded at roughly $34,000 per coin. What followed after was the Bitcoin's 5-month-long epic bull run, which was supported by pro-crypto initiatives such as El Salvador's Bitcoin acceptance and crypto-friendly regulations across the globe. Despite mixed sentiments about the recovery of the crypto ecosystem, small-time investors are found to have increased their investment efforts amid the bear market as they fulfill their long-term dream of owning one full Bitcoin. Global recession, geopolitical tensions, falling crypto economies like Terra Luna, and an ongoing pandemic currently hold the Bitcoin ecosystem from unleashing its true potential. As I said, the articles will be in the description if you want to check the full thing out. I just want to give my basic opinion on this. We tend to see in Bitcoin bull runs, they happen after halvings of Bitcoin. So back in 2016, there was a halving, and then after that we saw the 2017-2018 bull run. Back in 2020 there was a halving, and if we look on this chart here, back into 2021 and 2022 there's the bull run. Which means that I don't think the Bitcoin mining will recover as quickly as this article is saying. I think that it will be coming after the halving of 2024. That will be the next big bull run, and that will be the major one, or one of the close to major ones that we'll see in the next 10 years. 2025 obviously will be a year after 2024, and I think that is because the halving of Bitcoin makes it obviously harder to mine, but people don't really know that at the time of the halving, and only see it after the halving's happened and they see that they can't get as much Bitcoin, so the supply and demand kicks in and people start buying it because there's less Bitcoin to be mined. So personally, I'd set your calendars for 2024 to 2025, even into 2026. Those are going to be the 3 main years that I think Bitcoin will have this next bull run in. I think for now it's just going to be a steady, price of Bitcoin as we saw from 2017 to 2020. That was just a steady price of around $8,000 per coin, $10,000 per coin I think. And then when the halving came in, after that it shot up, and now we're just going back into that decline. It's just like a cycle, and it's going to happen every 4 years just because of this halving. The next article that we have is that Compass Mining loses facility after allegedly failing to pay power bill. So Compass Mining is basically a Bitcoin mining, farm. Bitcoin mining hardware and hosting company Compass Mining has lost one of its main based hosting facilities after the owner Dynamics Mining terminated the hosting agreement between the two, claiming Compass failed to pay the required bills. On late Sunday, Dynamics tweeted a letter on Twitter it sent to Compass Mining which stated as of June 14th, the hosting contract between the two was terminated. Dynamics alleged Compass has 6 late payments and 3 non-payments related to utility bills and hosting fees. In a follow-up tweet a few hours later, on Monday, Dynamics alleged that the power consumption bills totaled $1.2 million and the Compass had only paid around $665,000 of it. It said Compass claims to have given the money required for the bills, but Dynamic alleged that it was used to build other facilities instead. It just goes on to say that Cointelegraph contacted both Dynamics Mining and Compass Mining for a comment but did not receive a response. The very public situation caused Compass Mining CEO Whit Gibbs to say it would fight this battle in court, not on Twitter. But the individual behind the Dynamics account hit back at Gibbs, saying that all Compass had to do was pay $250,000 for 3 months of power consumption, and that Twitter is the voice your customer base, not the courtroom. So basically, I think this is down to the fact that they overexpanded too quickly, and they didn't foresee this crypto crash coming. Obviously, the profitability is in the dirt right now. Even if they have Bitcoin available, they've probably spent it all on building new facilities to mine more Bitcoin, and those haven't been profitable right now. This has become a big problem with many Bitcoin companies selling off a load of their Bitcoin just to keep up with these debts that they're getting into, because nobody really foresaw this mining crash happening so badly. So I think in the coming months we'll see a lot of these crypto mining farms start to sell off, or either, go into debt or file for bankruptcy. The last article that we have to go over is the police investigate ethereum/Bitcoin mining pool following scam allegations. It says here South Korean police are investigating allegations that a domestic Bitcoin and Ethereum crypto mining pool is a scam. It says here that the Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency Financial Crimes Investigation Unit stated that it was conducting a probe into a pool named ethlot.me and was working with colleagues at police stations across the country on the case. A group of alleged victims have come forward to state that they were left out of pocket after being told they could expect guaranteed income by buying crypto mining rigs. This equipment, they were told, would be operated remotely in nations such as Kazakhstan. It then goes on to say that they have been posting to Instagram and showing them where the Bitcoin mining facility is and just where all their investments are going. It says access to each group chat was granted to individuals depending on the size of the investment they made. Essentially, the group promised the more money investors stumped up, the better performing mining rigs you could afford. Obviously, they said they were trying to set up their own pool, but this really wouldn't work because you still wouldn't get a solo block with any amount of Bitcoin or Ethereum miners that they're trying to set up. Bitcoin mining, even the large Bitcoin mining farms are connected to pools, but they obviously solo mine on these pools. But these are only the large ones, alright? The chances of finding a block if you're just in your own mining facility, say you have even 100 ASICs lined up, you wouldn't even be able to have a chance to find a block because there are mining facilities that have thousands of ASICs set up that can do way more calculations than you and can find the target hash way quicker. So personally, I think that people need to do their research before they get into this. We've seen loads of crypto scams over the years, cloud mining, which is the biggest scam in the mining space, and you should look out for these scams when you're doing your research into mining pools. And if opportunities come up that you're a bit skeptical on, chuck them in my Discord, link for that is in the description below, and we'll tell you if it's a good investment or not. So that's it for the video, guys. If you guys did enjoy, please like and subscribe. All links for articles are in the description below if you want to check them out.